আর অ্যালপাইন, হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, এই অ্যালপাইন ম্যাপগুলো এগুলো কিন্তু একটা টিম আর একটা টিমের মানে খুব কাছাকাছি থাকে, রাজ যখন তখন খেলা যায়, যখন তখন ক্লাচ খেলা যায়, টিম খুবই ইজি। নেক্সট লুট করার চান্সই পাবে না, তারপরে সোলারাতে একবার মরে গেলে লুট করার চান্সই পাবে না। অ্যালপাইনও সেম হবে। তো এই ম্যাচে যদি পয়েন্ট তুলতে না পারে, আরএসকে খুব টাফ আছে আরএসকের জন্য কোয়ালিফাই করে, এটা হার্ড রিয়েলিটি একটা।
ওকে, পেইন্টের সামনে কিন্তু একটা টিম পড়ে গেছে, এখন দেখা যাচ্ছে
sharp shots recently.
That will free up the path for rotation for Pain. Yeah. This early on reviews where Red Hawk is. I feel like I could say it could be from Pain because that's the most direct path into the circle. If you try to circle around the northern side, then cross the refinery, it's going to take too long with the siren blaring.
Raone surely on the move, looking for Russia's number one spot in terms of being the deadliest guy out there on the battlefield. Not too far away from getting that done. Vision system from up top. Beautiful knock onto Joker. That's not going to be enough to stop the pace of the squad. For the time being, though, nobody else has got the elevation to deal with Vision system. But a couple of hook guns and a couple of jumps later, Vision is going to be in a lot of trouble. But for the time being, the circle looks for them. Great positioning from the squad.
The biggest winner right now on the map is actually Lost. They are uncontested, coming in from the northern side. And they can get a free entry if they want.
Yeah.
But for the rest of the team, it's about to get incredibly bloody. We are almost 12 minutes in, and we have 11 full squad. And to fight at the eastern side of the refinery, a couple of structures, high-rise structures, but plenty of open ground.
We also spotted Lost using the binoculars, managing to scan out 4 players on the side of Movistar R7. So they do know that if they make a straight beeline for the safe zone here, they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. But all thanks to the elevation that Kalahari presents, they play the cliffs to their advantage. They maintain cover as they approach the other squads. Buriram, on the other hand, one might expect them to break a leg with that fall, but once again, thanks to the hook gun, which is pretty much cheap and available for everyone. Moshi not allowing Neja to get away. Boonjane chipping in as well. Wasana fighting Exposi Virtus Pro. Back away, Buriram says.
This is just, again, showing us how experienced BRU players are. That decision to take fire was so quick and decisive. And Moshi landing those initial shots, that is what's going to make the difference in these crucial moments. BRU now rotates forward. They're going to make a bit of detour towards the western side of the map and try to cut through from that compound, from that area. But they will put them in the crosshairs of Pain Gaming and RRQ.
Buriram has not looked dangerous in a while. Waiting for that prime time to strike, and I wonder when that would be. Onyx, the only team eliminated thus far, and Red Hawks are very close to the exact same fate. But Wasana, bolt going down, Pain Gaming delivering the hurt. Motovia with the sharp shots from across. Get High desperately hanging on, has got the M79, needs another grenade to wreck the chances of Peter here.
Yeah, Jonah is going to try and help, but Get High is going to be knocked down by Noda, and BRU once more collapsing in the hands of Pain Gaming as they pay the price of 2 members, but at least they're still in it to win it.
Unbelievable stuff. Buriram in the 9th spot. There's a high probability they get eliminated if they keep up this slow pacing for themselves. If we don't see an aggressive version of Buriram, they are probably not going to be at point rush. But look at Lost, circling on in. Falcons in trouble, they see the team wide open. Grenade after grenade. Hararao, pounding, dropping those nades like they hot, and Falcons dropped right when they found them.
Caught completely unaware and given a shallow burial by Lost. The Brazilian champions once more showing us the aggressiveness. Before the show even started, we saw Lost talking about their playstyle.
Yeah.
We see, we shoot, we take down, we eliminate, and we win. And that is how they won the domestic championship. finished 4th last year on the stage, 3 out of 4 of them, and right now they're about to make that point once more. Motovia finding Ma'al from up top, VSE with the steal.
Unbelievable stuff out of the Brazilian squads this time round. They all want blood and they find those points behind those shots. Movistar R7 in a decent spot, Dudes. Wants revenge. Falls back by the circle. Can't go in there for the extra point. Will focus on their own placement first. Lost on the other hand with a quick reposition. And this is absolutely smooth from the squad. Pain Gaming on the other hand loses Motovia and gets taken out in 7th.
And Lost puts themselves in the circle too. They have VP and Dragon Esports to deal with, but as long as they take care of teams like Movistar R7, they can stand there forever because Dragon Esports are also preoccupied. Like shooting free target. Welcome to the firing range of Dragon Esports. VSE and RQ having a tough time dealing with this team from the Middle East as Lost locks in their 15-point and counting.
Again, you see Dragons Esports in the top 3, make it the top 2, going up against the top dogs of Brazil. Dragons Esports, I don't care, even if they don't walk away with the victory over Lost here, they're winning my heart for sure.
Aone with the
down
grenade.
on the ground, Rahone is going to finish this off all with the grenade launcher.
And Seafolks does get a trade onto Rigby, but again, you need confirmation. Rigby ends up going down. Lost at 16, 17. Rampage for Haone, 7 under his belt. The aggression for Yasir, he takes the fight straight to Lost to take a gamble, but it did not pay off. The dice was rolled, but it was Lost that comes out on top. Booyah! Once more, 3 for Lost.
3 for Lost, and the boys have found dominance up on top, and Rahone has found the #1 Predator spot, kicking Russia into the 2nd position with his aggression. Grenade launcher for the win. These boys are launching themselves into the hearts of fans all across the world.
This is impressive. We know that Lost is impressive, but the spotlight is slowly shifting over to Dragons Esports. I think if this run continues, if they do make it, I dare to say it right now, that they deserve a spot among the greats.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, they most definitely do. But we all know how Champion Rush works, baby. The field is open for the play. Even the underdogs of the competition, all they need to do is just sneak into Point Rush, get into the grand finals, hit those 80 points, and walk away with a booyah to call themselves the champions of the Esports World Cup 2025. Free fire dominance right here out of Brazil. The consistency is mind-blowing.
It is. I think for Lost, they have more than proven enough to all of these rounds that they are the ones that has a very good chance of winning the whole thing and finishing the job from last year. But for Dragons Esports, keep your eyes on them because 3 more rounds and we will find out if they do make history in top 12. We'll send it to a break and we'll be right back with more Free Fire action.
Quadra kill. Double kill. This land is calling.
ใครจะเป็นคนสั่งวันเนี้ย
ไม่ต้องเดี๋ยวปล่อยชุบเลือกไอเจลดีกว่า
มาไม่ต้องเถียงกันละเดี๋ยววันนี้เล่นเอง
Angelo, não tem Angelo. Desce direita. Bomba lá, desce direita. Vem comigo aqui. 61. 200.
Chupetão no gás, chupetão no gás.
Também dois. Boa. No meu pé.
Fiz esse cara aí.
Jogando aqui. Faz lógica, tem? Correndo pra tu, Raoni. Miado aí. Faz lógica, tem, Ginel?
Não tem.
Vem em mim os dois, deu meu. Se destranca, vem, Raoni. Finalizando eu. Não clicou ainda. Clicando agora. Boa, caralho! Vai tomar no cu, cara. Boa, porra.
It is all downhill here, folks, because we have just passed the halfway mark for day 3 of Free Fire at EWC 25. And LOS secure the third booyah of the day, this time on Kalahari. Welcome to the very fluffy panel, folks. I hope you are enjoying the show, the matches, and obviously your very fluffy panelists, my analysts. We have a lot to talk about because that was a really calculative game of Free Fire. 10 minutes. We still had 12 teams, 48 players. Everyone played so slowly. Neptune, you got to break this down for me here because, I mean, why did everyone just suddenly slow down?
Yeah, it seems like they are going in for placement points first. So they don't want to be that aggressive. But we've seen a lot of aggressive gameplay. But at this point, especially in Kalahari, there's a lot of survivability factor. With that hook gun, you can get away as quickly as that and revive your teammates.
I think you're looking at this with rose-colored glasses for Neptune. This is ridiculous because Lost are honestly changing the game here. They're forcing teams into each other. They are taking so many elimination points, and God, cool guys don't look at explosions for a reason.
And not to mention, Lost, where are they on the leaderboard?
There you well, currently they are rocking that #1 spot, not only in the match ranking, but also on the overall standing. And I love the performance of Lost in there. They were able to go for the backstab, and you did mention explosion. They just exploded. Team Falcons has been wiped out quickly by Lost.
With that being said, though, 31 points by the end of this match. RQ just behind them, but I don't even think teams were expecting Lost to do this well, because that means in the overall rankings that puts them at #1. But at the same time, it's forcing teams to think about this game differently now. It's not about, hey, do we need to take our time? It's, can we make sure that Lost doesn't steamroll us, especially coming into that 4th and 5th ring?
Okay, I know we're highlighting LOS a little bit because they're at the top of the leaderboard. We got to talk about the Dragons because they have been so consistent today. They placed top 3 in the first two matches, and then they come second in this one. What is going on with the Dragons?
Yeah, I guess they're just going into the basics right now. Survivability at its finest. They're not thinking about elimination, that much of elimination, and they just want to be in the top 3, if not grab that booyah. Currently in the knockout stage, this is their 4th instance of being in the top 3. So I guess this is their road to be on the top 12 overall. And guess what? AG Global and Dragons are currently tied.
I think the process of which they have figured out not only rotations, but most importantly, their landing spot and their recovery has significantly improved from the previous day, allowing them to consistently get into the top 3.
I'm just trying to think here, right? Is this maybe a case of Dragons just doing their homework? Because I feel like if you're going to play this consistency, you clearly have to have some level of knowledge over your opponents.
Yeah, it seems like it because I was talking with analysts from the Arab side, and there is discussion that they have been studying not only the entirety of those in EWC, but also those in Southeast Asia. So there's a possibility that the movement, the rotation has been followed overall, and halfway through, they're just going in for the placement. We might see a lot more elimination later on.
I think at this point, maybe people have been underestimating their homework, but at the end of the day, I think the Dragons Esports are, in the famous words of Goofy himself, just yucking great.
And it's only a way up from here because we still have 3 more games. It's not done yet. So if the Dragons keep going like this, they're going to basically guarantee their way in top 12. I mean, Neptune, are Dragons guaranteed top 12 yet, or are they still kind of looking rocky here for points?
Yeah, they're still on the edge right now, and they need to maintain those placement points, even add a lot more of elimination. But they're very close on taking out hot shots and bringing them to the top, away from the top 12. So I guess they're close, but still no cigar.
I think the teams at least need to start thinking about these last couple of maps, because we've seen in these past 2 days that once we get into the last leg of the race, desperation starts to become very important, and more importantly, so the points that you can get from being desperate, fighting early, fighting into the mid game, they got to start cutting off the fat. Like, how, Neptune, you got to cut that fanny pack off. What is this, 2010?
Wow. So just a quick update for our overall ranking. So as you can see at the very top, we have lost with 163 points, and they have a humongous lead over the remaining teams playing in groups A and C, because EVOS and Core Memory, they finished their games. They're not playing today. So essentially, the rival team is Team Falcons, but this is 30 points, gentlemen. 30-point gap between these two teams.
I think with the 30-point gap, what everybody needs to look at is on that second page, 12 all the way down to 15. Because if any one of those teams, except for Alpha 34, also achieve that 30-point lead, that means everybody else is not going to progress as far, allowing that top 12 to be more achievable.
One thing that's unfortunate, though, Virtus Pro previously, before the day started, they were at 13. And only a few more points, and they could have crossed over, but they failed miserably in 2 matches, and it's still happening. So, not quite sure what's happening with Virtus Pro, but hopefully they can recover. But that would mean that Dragon Esports will be pushed out.
Okay, so I also saw on the right side of that ranking, I saw Buriram's name. Now, the question that even though they're over there, how many points are they sitting on? Are they, okay, this is going to be such a crazy question. What are the odds of Buriram falling out of top 12?
Well, it seems, or it looks like they are doing so, but we all know Buriram. They won't let it go, and when it matters, they will be getting all those points. It just so happened in this instance, they went in for engagement a little bit early, so it's tough to call if this is really a play for them.
Well, I think we got to cool the stage off a little bit, because we did have a bit of a sweaty match just now in Kalahari. So it looks like we're ready to fly into Alpine Survivors. Gonna throw over to our casters right now as we get ready for game number 4. Thank you very much, panel and Danley. This is exciting because the top 12 places right now look so tight. Currently in 12th and 13th place, AGAL alongside DRG both at 79 points. It could be anyone's game, but to be even more secure, you want to try and overcome teams such as Hotshots right now.
Yeah, Hotshot, they are slowly relegating themselves to be under the top 12 threshold. And for the teams that is within that threshold, they have to be careful, because we are left with only 3 matches here for Group A and also C. This 12th team definitely need to pump up more in their game. So we're going to move into Alpine here for game number 4. After that, we are from loss and aggressive gameplay here by the Brazilian team. I could believe that maybe Lost could again surprise us with an amazing game.
Yeah, Lost look really good. 3 booyahs throughout the entirety of the days they've been playing here. They're aggressive, they are hot. Raoni is playing incredibly well. And there are so many situations where you thought they were at the back foot. They had lost 2 players already. Then what? They bring the players back into the recovery. It's incredible on Bermuda this morning.
Yeah, now we're looking at Alpine. We are looking at drop spots of the players, but it looks like we might have a scuffle here in Snowfall as R7 and Buriram are dropping at the same place. Bounty has been placed on a Virtus Pro Diamond by, I believe it's by RRQ. So with that said, RRQ now sort of have information regarding the position of Virtus Pro. Meanwhile, we are now panning on towards Snowfall. As I said, it's Rainbow 7 and Buriram. However, on the river mouth, Dragons and Red Hawks are at it right now.
aggressive as heck right now as DRG. They're going aggressive. Kutush falls Blade as well. And Blade can't even be recovered anymore. For now, they have to find a way to get themselves back into this game. But DRG 3 already. And this is a great start for them. I glazed them on the stage earlier for a good reason. This is a team out of nowhere just gone completely nuclear and taking down so many big names.
A short run here for Red Hawks. The last member was finally found. It was found by Motavia from Pain Gaming as Motavia is on that lighthouse tower, encompassing the whole area of Rivermouth, looking at Team Dragons right now. He's being so careful not to actually release any kind of shot, despite being in a position where it's hard for Dragon to execute here, even for Motavia to go down. So with that said, Motavia tried his best. Carlos goes down towards Rima. Rima now on the floor. Manages to collect another point here for Pain Gaming. Motavia doing a lot of work for Pain Gaming in the early stages of the match.
They're looking to break some hearts and break some dreams because DRG, while they're hot, they are currently on the back foot in terms of bodies. So the best way is just go for, for cover. And the same thing could be said about Falcons because they are here to not to play. They're getting here for names and also kill. But Pain Gaming are rallying. They get the kills. DRG, one more member falls here, but for Pain, they try their best to get those pickups. But Falcons, Peter, he's aggressive. That's the reason why he is one of the #1 decorated players on this team. And he has taken the first pickup for the team. And they're looking to find a different way to eliminate Pain from this game.
So Gus tried to fly himself away from Falcon, but apparently the Falcon managed to swoop him away in midair. So there is only Motavia left, and Motavia doing what towards Team Dragons? He managed to secure 4 elimination for this Brazilian team, all alone with that car and also Woodpecker. Oh, such a unique setup here by Motavia, using the glue wall and also the mid jump pad right on top to gain elevation and a good angle to actually go towards Forest Rate. So main job here for Motavia, he has to revive the others.
You want to be able to do that as well. I mean, you saw they had a bit more advantage in terms of their cover and positioning as well. But Falcons did a great job of rallying and being able to break through those defenses, running in as a 2-2 to be able to just really push them outside into the open arms for his teammates. And I think that Falcons, while they have been a bit more quiet, they are here today to just really solidify their lead.
Pain Gaming is back. Motavia managed to actually revive everyone back. Meanwhile, a little bit of a scuffle here in Rai as AGAL spotted on Olympus scouring around the same area. Rai is a very open space area. They have to actually close in their gap. Meanwhile, Noki was knocked by Dew on the backside. That they have to take refuge in that arsenal. Noki again on the floor, this time alongside Adam. And Onyx Olympus not looking so good. They have to fly away, and indeed they did. So the remaining members tried to exit. Only one member actually exited as Zyro was left here to handle AGAL all alone. Varus tried to break as much wall as possible with the Groza in hand. And Zyro managed to find cover for the current time being. He had space, but sadly Dew found his back and Zyro goes down.
It's just a terrible position to be in when you have no clue where the AGL members are. And the AGL realizing that they have to really struggle to earn their spot into that top 12 just really fuels them further. Now they have, all the, Armory, they have and I think this would really increase their firepower, give them an upper advantage to be able to get all those frags, to be able to solidify themselves into some points in terms of kills, in terms of positioning as well.
All right, we might see another Falcon and Pain Gaming interaction here, this time on Rivermouth. Here is a short replay from Rainbow 7 where we could not actually report it for you guys. And Rainbow 7 manages to actually control Buriram. It looks like Buriram has to exit the vicinity instead. And now we're looking at Falcon again. We're about to see whether or not Falcon repeats their match against Pain. They had a very good run earlier where Pain was left with Motavia to do all the revive. But apparently Pain manages to actually find a route to fall back, but Gus has been spotted by Falcons.
Yeah, Falcons, they're ever watching, eyes like a hawk, if you want to say it. Gus gets backstepped here, his teammate wants to pick them up, but I don't think that Keroro is going to allow him that space to be able to do so. A lot of pressure going toward him as well, and Peter cannot do a lot to help his teammates in this situation. And as for Falcons, they're understanding that in this dire situation, the best of action is to take a little bit more space.
Pina tries to actually do some suppressed fire towards Team Pain Gaming, but knowing that they are quite far apart against each other, so Falcon decides to actually just maybe find nothing to do here in Rivermouth, maybe find some resources that are lacking in the team. But it looks like Pina was aimed at, I think, Pain Gaming. Yeah, Pain Gaming from the minimap. It looks like they are trying to engage on towards Team Falcons. Meanwhile, the first zone is about to close. There's a few teams still outside of the zone. Example, Buriram, AGAL, and also Lost. Dragons resetted back their team. However, they are currently being bountied by another team in our Alpine. And it looks like the circle has updated, putting Sunside as the middle point.
Interestingly enough, that southern side is such a heavy point of contention. So many teams rotating over, which means we're going to see some bloody fights coming from there. Virtus Pro, I think they can chill for now as the rest of Onyx are looking for a slower and later rotation as they try to bring themselves back into this game. And I say bring themselves back into the game is such an important thing for them, because you want to be able to make sure that you have a bit more space to work with. Your teammates are able to get back into the game safely, and you're able to rendezvous together to move together as a unit.
All right, we're looking at Vision System SP. They had 2 good games actually, despite currently being in the lower part of the overall table. They still have that hope to try to get to the top 12, trying to cut off teams from AGAL as well as Dragons. If they could actually get 3 more good games with good placement and elimination points, even with a Booyah, we could see another Latam team proceeding towards the point rush stage. Meanwhile, we're looking at RRQ happily camping at boot camp. Again, this is also a base camp, sorry. This is also another vicinity within the midpoint of our new zone. And Mal equipping with the AWMY. High damage, high caliber. Sadly could not go through glue walls. Only the M8-2B could do that. But still, a very scary weapon to be facing against.
I'm looking at DRG's rotation right now from southern side. This is a very scary rotation because they are currently right against the zone, and most importantly, if they do break into that circle, there's Falcons waiting for them. There's AGAL waiting for them, and that's the worst part because AGAL and DRG are currently on that same amount of points. They need to both be able to kind of like break each other to be able to earn their spot into that top 12, and it's really scary, especially when you're up against a team like Falcons.
Another potential team going to point rush, Movie Star Rainbow 7. Playing it slow, does not enter the zone early. From Railroad, it looks like they are opt to go to Carousel. But the thing about playing in Carousel is that there is a body of water, so if they were to play around near that water, it could prove detrimental. Meanwhile, again, another team has entered base camp. This time around, it is Virtus Pro. Yet to get an elimination point in our game right here. They are side by side with Team Falcons as well as Team Vision System. Meanwhile, Lost just exited Rivermouth.
You know, I think the panel had that question just now. Will Buriram United actually make it to that top 12? Can they actually, maintain that point to be able to secure themselves here? And, I think the panel had a good, indication of saying, yeah, it's Buriram United. You don't really have to worry about them too much. They're explosive. They can start the day strong. They can still get enough, enough points to just maintain that top 12. And then suddenly in the point rush, the champions rush, they hit the ground running. But in this situation where so many teams are this competitive, how long are you going to be just sitting on that back foot? Are you not going to try show a bit more of the competitiveness, or are you just going to just do the bare minimum here?
I believe the bare minimum would be the least effort they could put for Buriram United, because judging from the points that they have, they are at high percentage proceed to the next stage. Same goes to Lost right now. We're looking
points,
at them.
Yes.
Yeah, same for Lost right now. They are quite vehicle. However, he's now all alone. Not much point for him to revive at least one person. So his only option is either to survive or trying to find maybe a respawn platform. But sadly, the current circle does not provide him that option. So Hax has to play alone. And meanwhile, we're looking RRQ flying towards the base camp, trying to get to the center point of the new zone. Meanwhile, Pain Gaming blasted bullets onto his team Lost, but at the same time being disturbed by one lone member of Onyx Olympus. And Lost is looking at ATL.
Lost is looking hot. If you ask me, the southern side where they're holding completely open, they have the scoped weapon as well to allow them to go for these long-range fights, but the fights that are long-range are taken away by Q, as Hawks eventually does fall to Onyx, in fact, who has placed himself out there in the open. But for the rest of AGL, they're stuck here. The zone's pushing, they're stuck literally between a rock and a hard place. As Rigby finds that first pickoff, Sypha falls, has to recover, can't do that. The glue walls are just falling so easily, melted right now, taking so much damage. Barros as well, the numbers are dwindling, and AGL don't seem to have an idea how exactly to recover from this situation. You alone here, and now the members have fallen. A double kill for this guy who's putting in so much pressure. AGL falls, and I think for DRG, this could be the holy or the hallelujah moment they needed.
Under the mercy of Team Lost goes down AGL. The next thing you know, Dragons as well on 9th place. Lost yet again. Shoving bullets this time on towards RR.